Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're jumping straight into the source material for Panchayat Season 4 today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our mission really is to unpack the big political shift in Fulera and figure out what's going on with Abhishek Tripathi at this major crossroads.
Definitely. The sources paint this season as, well, a real pivot. You still get that rural charm we all love, but the political drama, it's seriously ramped up.
Okay.
And you've got Abhishek, right? Still the secretary, still dreaming of that CA exam and getting out.
Right, the MBA dream.
Exactly. But this is all happening while the village is pretty tense. Pratanji is recovering from being shot, which adds this layer of, well, real danger to the upcoming election.
That's a heavy backdrop, recovering from violence right into an election cycle. Okay, so let's unpack the politics. It sounds like Fulera splits right down the middle.
Pretty much. Two clear camps gearing up. You've got the incumbents, sort of the status quo, Pratanji's people, Manju Devi, Vika's, Prahlad, the familiar faces.
And the challengers.
That's Bhushan and Kranti Devi. And here's the kicker. The sources are clear they have backing from an MLA, a state-level politician.
So it's not just local anymore, higher stakes involved.
Exactly. It ties the village election into, bigger power plays.
So how did this play out? I mean, how did everyday village stuff get twisted into politics? Any specific examples?
Oh, yeah. The sources highlight a couple of key moments. Remember the electrician mission?
Vaguely, yeah, restoring power.
Right. But it wasn't just about fixing the electricity. It turns out it was actually a setup and a trap by Bhushan's camp to make Pradhanji's side look bad.
Wow. Okay. So sacrificing the village's immediate needs for political gain.
Pretty much shows how intense it got. And then there was that slogan controversy.
Oh, the birth control one.
Yeah.
2 children, sweet Kir.
More than 2 piles. Yeah, that one. It became this comedic and political football used by both sides for attacks.
So even something like that gets weaponized. It really shows how the ground was shifting. Did loyalties start to fray too?
Definitely. The sources mention folks like Dinud, Suddenly his loyalty is a question mark. Cracks appearing in the old guard's authority.
Okay, so this builds up to a climax. What were the big results? 2 major things happened, right?
Yeah, huge. First, Abhishek, his big personal goal. He clears the CIT exam.
Finally. Did he do well?
Really well. A high 97th percentile. So legally, boom. He's got his escape route, his ticket to the city, the MBA, everything he wanted.
But at the same time, the village election results come in.
Exactly. And it's a shocker. Kranti Devi wins.
Wow. So the challengers actually pulled it off.
They did. A massive political upset. Manju Devi and Pradhanji's camp are out. The whole power dynamic in Fulera fundamentally changed. Now it's the MLA-backed opposition in charge.
And what about Abhishek and Rinki, Pradhanji's daughter?
Ah, yes. Amidst all this chaos, that sort of simmering relationship finally moves forward from just hints and glances to something more like, an actual acknowledgement of feelings.
Okay, here's the part I find really fascinating. Abhishek gets the score. He can leave, but he doesn't, right?
Right. That's the pivotal moment in the finale. He gets the 97th percentile, the dream ticket, but then he tells Rinki he's staying for a few more months at least.
Well, why? After 3 seasons of wanting out so desperately, is it just about Rinki, or is it something deeper?
Well, the sources suggest it's a massive shift in his character, a real inversion. He was always the temporary guy, just passing through.
You're waiting to escape.
And now he seems to be actually considering putting down roots, or at least facing the music in Fulera.
So it's a commitment.
Yeah.
To the place, or maybe just the challenge.
Maybe a bit of both. It signals he's not just running away. And think about the implications he now has to work as secretary under the new Pradhan, Kranti Devi.
Under Bhushan, effectively.
Yeah.
We see Bhushan putting his own nameplate up, right?
Exactly. Bhushan's clearly relishing the power shift, and Abhishek is choosing to stay right in the thick of that new, probably hostile environment.
That's a huge choice. Sets up a completely different dynamic.
It really does. And while, some critics mention the pacing felt a bit slow this season, maybe even stagnant for Abhishek at times.
Yeah.
This ending kind of justifies it. It gives closure to the exam, the relationship, but breaks the status quo wide open. He chose presence over escape.
So season 4 wraps things up personally,
Yeah.
but throws his professional life into, complete uncertainty.
Precisely. And if you zoom out, the sources hint the show is asking you, the viewer, a bigger question. What is progress, really? Is moving on always better than staying put?
Rooted presence versus constant movement.
Yeah. Abhishek is now anchored in Fulera, but it's a politically transformed Fulera.
Which leaves us with the final thought to chew on. What's Abhishek's role going to be now? Staying, yes, but serving under the very people who opposed his friends. That office dynamic is going to be complicated.
Infinitely more complicated. We'll have to see.